From the Cardinal Television Studios, I am Caitlin Murphy, and this is your Fisher News Brief. Protesters came to the White House Wednesday night to rally against the withdrawal of protections for transgender students in public schools. The Trump administration withdrew those protections, but did not offer any new guidance. Reporter Jay Korf spoke to protesters.
No hate, no fear. Trans students are welcome here.
Hundreds rallied outside the White House Wednesday night.
Shame on Trump. Protect trans students.
In the wake of the Trump administration lifting guidelines that allowed transgender students to use a school bathroom based on their gender identity.
Now they have to worry about the President of the United States being a bully. Shame. It is not okay.
The administration believes this Obama-era directive was unclear, led to lawsuits, and that this issue is better left to individual states and school systems. Transgender supporters say that's code for discrimination.
I've faced my share of adversaries in rural Virginia, but I never imagined that my government would be one of them.
Gavin Grimm is the transgender 17-year-old who was told a couple years ago by his Virginia school system that he could not use the boys' room. His case, potentially groundbreaking, goes before the U.S. Supreme Court in late March.
No matter what happens, no one, not even the government, can defeat a community so full of life, color, diversity, and most importantly, love.
Amen. And across the country, as senators and congressmen are on home recess, town halls are turning into hotbeds for political activism. Protesters are packing these events and expressing outrage over a number of issues surrounding Washington and President Donald Trump, leading many to wonder if there's a power shift on the horizon in 2018. Kristen Holmes is in Washington with the details.
2020, you're gone.
Republican lawmakers facing the heat at home. Constituents across the country lining up to give their Washington representatives an earful, taking on President Trump's agenda on nearly everything. In Iowa, health care reform.
Please, don't repeal it.
In Virginia, the president's finances.
Do you believe the president should release his tax returns?
Even a 7-year-old in Arkansas taking issue with immigration policy.
Donald Trump makes Mexicans not important to people who are in Arkansas who like Mexicans, like me, my grandma, and all my people.
But protests like this aren't unique to Republicans. Democratic lawmakers faced the same anger in 2009 after President Obama's first election. In fact, the Trump administration taking a page from his predecessor's playbook Wednesday, blaming adversaries for, quote, manufacturing these protests.
You've had groups today that have bragged about organizing and manufacturing that anger.
But there is a bit of professional protester manufactured base in there.
President Trump himself tweeting that protests were planned out by liberal activists. Sad. But some Republican lawmakers who faced the crowd say the protests look very real to them. Republican leaders in Congress have said they hope to have a health care plan ready by August. In Washington, I'm Kristen Holmes.
Former House Speaker John Boehner says a full repeal and replace of Obamacare isn't going to happen. Boehner called the plan happy talk while at an Orlando healthcare conference. Boehner says he started laughing, saying Republicans never agree on healthcare. His comments come as Republican lawmakers across the country are facing fire at town halls. Boehner resigned in 2015 after a long period of disagreements with his conference's hardline conservatives. And Jamie Harrison is dropping out of the race for Democratic National Committee chairman. The South Carolina Democratic Party chairman is endorsing former Labor Secretary Tom Perez for the position. In a statement, Harrison said the votes are not there for him to win the position. Harrison is believed to have the third largest number of votes committed to him in the crowded field of 8 candidates. His support may be enough for Perez to win the race for chairman of the DNC. And that's all of today's headlines. I am Caitlin Murphy for Fisher News Brief.